Hi, my name is Jay Oza, and I want to talk to you about the current state of education. Is it working or is it not working? Before I go into that, the reason I want to talk about this is there is a lot of anxiety in the world today regarding the economy. The economy today has changed. There is no such thing as a stable job. What we are faced with is constant change, rapid change, and people just cannot keep up. And a lot of people are falling behind, and as a result, they're lashing out. They're lashing out at the politicians, they're lashing out at immigrants, they're lashing out at technology, and that's an unhealthy situation. You have to face the fact that the world has changed and the economy has changed. And one of the scapegoat is education. I agree with it a little bit that education can be changed, but we got to separate two things here. Education versus learning. Education has its own speed. You can't speed up education. It's just not possible. Your brain is not capable of doing that. Your brain takes a while to absorb information, and if you push too hard, you're going to alienate children who are learning, and even adults are not going to be able to learn. So, I don't see anything wrong with the education the way it exists today because there's a reason for that. It's true and tried and it works. What's not working is that people are expecting too much, that education should result in a gainful employment for the rest of their lives. That is just no longer possible for a simple reason. The change is happening too fast, and education just cannot keep up with that. The purpose of education, the way I see it, is to help you think better. Once you get that education, then you got to take charge of it and learn. And that goes on forever. So if you're the kind of person who just wants an education, then say, oh, now I'm done, now I can just get a job and I'll be happy and fat and happy for the rest of my life, you are in for a rude awakening, my friend. You're going to have to hit the books even more after you get out of college, let's say. You're going to have to work even harder because you're now facing competition, not only locally, globally, but also from machines. If you can't figure this out, you're not going to survive or even thrive in this economy. The thing you got to do is learn. Learn where you can add value. And that means you got to look and see what job needs to be done. And you have to constantly keep on adding skills to get that job done. Is this easy? No, it's hard. As they say in America, welcome to the NFL, okay? Getting into the NFL isn't easy. You got to be really good. Today, the easy jobs, people are not needed for those jobs. You got to bring a lot of game to the modern economy. You got to have communication skills, you got to have analytical skills, you got to have all kinds of interpersonal skills, leadership skills. I mean, it's a skill set, a game today. The person who brings all these skills and can apply it towards a particular job that gets it done so that the company can make profit, you are golden then. If you're not doing that, don't blame it on education. Education did its job. It taught you all kinds of subject. You now have to take that and apply it. And where there are gaps, you got to go in and take charge and learn it. You can't expect somebody else to figure it out. You got to figure it out. And what I'm saying today is that people are getting lackadaisical and they're not going to work hard, they're not working smart, and they're not learning, and then they want to blame it on the education. Let me just tell you what I do. Every morning I go for a walk for 1 hour. And I have my This is my smartphone, iPhone, and I will either listen to an audiobook or a podcast, and I am constantly learning because there's a tidbit of information that I'm going to get that I'm going to be able to apply. And this happens every day. I am constantly reading. I'm constantly listening to podcasts. I'm constantly taking courses. And it's just me. And there's no guarantee that that's all going to lead to anything. But this is something you got to do. So I just want to be clear that it's easy to scapegoat education, but education does a good job. I know this because I have my daughter just graduated from college, and my son right now is in high school, and I know the courses he's taking, and he's working hard. He's learning a lot of good stuff in there. Is that going to get him a job? No, this is the process. You got to go through the process, but the main thing I keep emphasizing to him is, listen, all of this stuff is good, but main thing you got to learn is how can you learn on your own. Right now you have a teacher, so you having some help, but later on you're going to have to do it yourself. You're going to have to be your own teacher. You're going to have to pick your own curriculum, and you're going to have to see where the opportunities are. That's something that I do agree the schools can do a better job in doing that, but that's not their expertise. The teachers today don't do that. They just know how to teach a particular course. So I agree that there could be things done to improve the education, but one thing I want to make it clear, we cannot scapegoat education. Education, the way I see it here in America with my son and my daughter, and I don't live in a wealthy neighborhood or anything like that, so it's not like I'm comparing some top-notch school. I'm talking about a middle-class school here. They are doing a fantastic job. So let's not criticize schools too much, but at some point you got to realize the most important skill that you have to get out of education is how you can learn on your own once the education is over, because technically the education is never over. One of them, it's institutionalized education, it's individual education, and that continues for the rest of your life. So to close this out, yes, the economy is tough. Yes, people are frustrated. Yes, people are not happy. But don't blame it on education. Put some blame on yourself. What are you doing? How are you learning new things? How are you adding value in this modern economy? That's the fundamental question you should be asking. And then figure out how you can learn new things. And then you have to keep at it. This is like a muscle. You can't just stop it and then suddenly pick it up when suddenly you're out of a job. This is a muscle you got to be constantly training the way athletes train their bodies to compete in soccer or in Olympics or whatever. And if you do that, I bet you're not going to be the one complaining about the education. Good luck.